you doing this? What is the thing in you that is making you do this?
I love new places. I love new challenges, I guess. And I want to do things authentically, which is, to me, a lot of it you have to, if you really want it, you have to suffer,
Yeah, but you doing a lot of suffering. That don't seem like you got to do all that now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I'm suffering. I feel like I'm enjoying everything I'm doing.
That seems pretty miserable to me. But I really took my time to get to. I'm like, I got me a job. I got me all my shit set up. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. And you're like, all I need is my drums. My drums will keep me warm.
Yeah, that was awesome. I loved it.
That's wild.
I would carry them on the subway from Harlem to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
To just go play a $50 gig on a Wednesday in Williamsburg, and then go back. And that's why my back is all messed up.
I mean, yeah. And welcome to Tyler Is Groce. A podcast with me, Tyler Groce. It's where I talk to my successful friends about life and growth and self-improvement. What are you doing? What are you struggling with? How are you going to get better so that I can learn how to crush them at whatever they're doing? And we got a good one this week. This week we got Zach Mama. Today's Thursday, and I was like, I was supposed to do a podcast. So now, for you, today is Friday. If you're listening on the day it came out. And Zach Mama's a cool dude, man. Cool dude. He's French. He is from France, and he's been living in America for about 10 years. He's been all over the place. He's been to Hawaii and some other places. He mentions it in the episode. And I met him because he just came to Austin because he's going around to like all the comedy scenes in America, filming a documentary about, I don't know, like the open mic scene and what comedy is and what open mics are in different places, and talking to people, interviewing people, getting B shots, B rolls, doing all the stuff. And I met him, and he was funny, and I was like, all right, let's talk to him. Let's just sit down and talk with this guy and get his story and his whole deal. And it was fun to talk to Zach. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. I think it's like at Zach Mama, MAMA on the gram. So check it out. Of course, I got my website for the live shows that are coming out. New York shows are starting to pop up a little bit, so check them out. Also, I'm coming back to Austin a lot in November, like 4th through 14th. So I'm gonna be around for a lot of that. So again, go on my website. I have a calendar. It has all the dates that I'm gonna be performing. So be on the lookout for that. Even if the dates aren't there yet, I'll add them eventually. And like and subscribe. Please go ahead, donate if you're feeling nasty. If you wanna review it, rate it. If you're on the podcast app, just do it right now. It's so easy. And it helps so much. So do that. Comment for the out. Do all the stuff. It's hot. Right now I'm sweating inside. It's one downside of New York. There's no AC, so when it's hot, not only is the hot pipe blowing with radiated heat, but also it's just hot outside, so it's overkill. I'm very sweaty. I'm tired, but I'm feeling good. Yeah, go ahead and check out this episode with Zach. Y'all are gonna love it. Thanks so much. How are you? How's Austin?
It's been great. I've been here for 10 days now.
10 days.
And it's my second time.
Keep talking.
And second day scooting. I've been walking everywhere, so it feels good, but it's not cheaper than Ubers.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine getting around without a car, because you can't. But then I also can imagine getting around without Ubers. You're scooting and walking everywhere.
Yeah, so I've been walking for the whole week.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yesterday I tried the scooter. I was like, yeah, let's try that. And I have back problems, so
okay.
Walking on scooting is not good.
Yeah. Oh, you feeling
walking
okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm chilling.
That's what's up.
I've been playing drums since I was a young kid. So I've had back problems since I was 13.
Okay.
Yeah. So that will never go away.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Man, this is wild. So just to let the listener know, we don't know each other. We talked for maybe 10 minutes on Saturday, I believe.
Velveeta Room was a Saturday?
At the Velveeta Room, yeah.
We met there? Just kidding.
That's where we were. We talked for maybe like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're from out of town.
I'm from Paris, France.
You're from Paris, France. But you've been living in the States for 10 years.
Yeah.
So you've got a good taste of American and French. You know what's up. And then where were you living most of that time?
3 years in Philly, 3 years in New York, a year and a half in New Orleans.
Okay.
And a year and a half in Hawaii.
Okay. What's your favorite?
Yeah. I don't have a favorite. It really depends.
Man, what's your favorite?
I'll tell you, I don't have a favorite.
No favorite?
No, my taste evolves. Is that how you would say it?
I don't know. What do you mean?
I liked everywhere for what it brought me when I was there. And when it was time to move somewhere else, I was just ready to go.
And are you teaching French the whole time?
Yeah, teaching French, playing music, and now I don't have to play music as much as I used to. Pre-pandemic, I was playing music most nights. Now I just want to do stand-up.
Hey, you talk into it like that, and then
better like this.
Yeah, like that.
And yours is the opposite.
Yeah, it's different.
Got you. I was like, am I doing this wrong?
I always forget to tell people. I always forget people are like, yeah, I'm gonna copy him. I'm gonna talk all weird.
Right.
Mine's a different.
This is a Shure, right?
Yeah, that's a Shure. This is like a Rode. This is like a Rode recording mic, so it's all fancy.
Got you. Where should I look? Anywhere? You
said me mostly. I mean, you can look. Listen, you can look wherever you want. It's my girlfriend's apartment. There's lots of fun stuff to look at. So whatever you want to look at. Yeah,
I'm kind of distracted, but yeah, I liked it everywhere. I like it here now, but it's weird because I travel throughout the states.
Right. This
is state number 7 for this whole documentary I'm shooting.
Yeah. You're shooting a documentary.
Yeah.
Where you are a comedian as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're selling yourself. You're going around teaching French. You're doing drums, and you're a comedian. Yeah. And you're going around hitting up open mics, trying to document the experience of going to a new place.
Every week.
Every night, doing an open mic, doing open mics, and then also trying to get booked on shows as you go around. And this is your seventh
state.
But okay, are you doing 50 states, 50 cities, or are you doing more than one city?
50 states. Some states I'm doing 2 or 3 cities.
Okay.
Like in California, I did LA, San Francisco, and San Diego. And
where are you going here?
Austin.
Just Austin?
I went to Houston last time, and it was really big, but not as many opportunities as here.
Yeah.
So on this trip, I didn't set up anything there.
So why are you doing this? That seems so, because I mean, listen, everyone hates open mics. We all know that.
Yeah, 100%.
They're not good. And whenever a comic travels, it's usually so that they can go do good shows in other cities. And there's something about whenever you go to a new city as a comic, it's like, hey, I'm from out of town, and they're like, ooh, an out of town comic. Let's give them all the opportunities they can handle. You know, because a lot of cities are really nice like that. But you're not doing that.
No, because I want to go through the pain of being an open micer everywhere I go. Even though I get booked on shows, I still want to have that pain where it's like, this still sucks. But I want to feel like, I'm paying my dues at the same time in each place.
Right.
Because, sometimes some comics come and they're like, oh, I'm from out of town. So they get a gig that they shouldn't get.
Sure.
And I don't want to, I want to see the community. I want to be around everyone at the open mics because I love people. And I like to see new comics that I'll see again in 5-10 years.
Yeah.
3 years, I don't know. But I've met so many incredible people from going to those shitty open mics.
Right.
And this is what I loved about jazz, is the jam sessions where you get to meet everyone and hang out, and nothing is good. Nothing good happens, but you're part of the community for a week.
Right.
And even if I get booked on shows, great. And
so are you trying to get booked on shows while you're here?
Of course.
You're not hitting people up necessarily, but you're trying to like word of mouth.
The first week I try not to. If I stay 2 weeks,
right,
then yes, because usually I get booked on shows as I'm here, and they ask me, "Are you here next week?" I'm like, most of the time I keep going, but here I plan on staying 2 weeks because I knew
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Like I'm on the same show as you tonight.
Are you?
Yeah, the drop-in.
You on the drop-in?
Yeah.
Look at you. Look at us both on the drop-in. Thursday, September 29th.
Yeah.
This is coming out in October. No one's going to be able to go.
Perfect.
No one's going to hear this in time to see it.
2023.
2023. A year from now.
Yeah, so...
That's wild.
Yeah.
So you're doing that. Is this like... You mentioned you were a jazz musician.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me your whole story. Okay, you're born in France. You're just a wee monsieur.
Oui.
You see, me, oui.
Yeah, born in France. Always wanted to go to the States since I was a kid.
Sure.
Because my dad was born in New York, but...
Both your parents French?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my dream was just to go to the States.
Do you like Paris?
Yeah, I love Paris. I love not living there.
I visited there. I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
It's very big.
It's actually small.
Isn't it big?
Yeah.
I thought it was big. I felt big to me.
Yeah. I'll show you how small it is.
What does that mean?
It's so condensed. Everything is like a block away. I love that.
I mean, I didn't get a chance to go see the whole city because buses were a bitch.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it Paris, Texas?
No, this is Paris. This is the Paris. I don't know what it was. It was buses were a bitch. And there's a metro?
Yeah, 100%.
It just took a while. It took too long for me to figure that stuff out.
When were you there? 1880?
No, I was there in 2019.
I'm sorry. Did you have a friend that was getting?
I was with my ex. I was with my girlfriend at the time.
That's why.
It's kind of why.
Yeah.
It's kind of why.
That's why.
Wasn't all. We're not together.
Time,
we're not together anymore.
Bad times in Paris.
That Paris trip didn't help. So you're born in Paris. You always wanted to go to the States.
Yeah, I always wanted to go to the States.
Because your dad went there?
He was born there.
Okay.
He was born in New York, but
so
never
is he
lived
American?
there. He was born American.
Technically? Or
Yeah.
But he's not. He doesn't rep America.
0%. Never lived there.
Okay.
Which way you want to go? Back to my dad, grandma, or more like forward?
Well, I want to go your life forward.
Yeah.
I don't want you to go your
Let's
life backwards.
I love talking about my grandma's past. And
okay. What happened to what's your grandma? Did she cut off a head?
No.
I know that's in y'all's history.
She lived in the States for 20 years. So during the war, she's Jewish.
Okay.
And she had to move from France to the States.
This is kind of wild. This is crazy. Okay. So she was French, Jewish. World War II.
French, Italian, Jewish.
Okay.
World War II. 3 years old. Her dad got away from France and moved to New York. And he lived in New York until his death. So from age 40 to 99.
This was...
my great-grandpa.
Great-grandpa.
Then my grandma married a French guy. So when she turned 20-something... moved back to France.
Huh. So she didn't really know France at that point.
She did because she went there on vacation during the summer.
Okay. I guess after the post-Nazis.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
that'd be a good choice.
Yeah. So my whole life I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like that's how we survived. We went to the States.
Mm-hmm.
And I was obsessed with New York because I knew she grew up there and I wanted to see it. And when I turned 20, I took a trip to New York to just explore the city for 10 days like you went to Paris.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, New York is so small.
What? I mean, I get that
kidding,
it's not.
so
I'm like, what are you talking about? Paris is pretty spread out.
No.
Yeah, from what I remember.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What do you mean? Yeah, what's more spread out, Austin or Paris? Or are they about the same?
Austin.
Austin's more spread out than Paris?
Yeah.
I don't. It took a long time to get from the Arc de Triomphe all the way to Eiffel Tower, I'll tell you that.
You didn't scoot?
I didn't scoot, but it still took a while.
Yeah. It's not that big, honestly. Because, like, Paris is 10 to 12 times smaller than New York. Philly is 4 times bigger than Paris. And I think Austin is bigger.
Geographically.
Yeah. Yeah, because Paris is condensed. Everything is right there.
Well, I'll go back.
Yeah, Arc de Triomphe to Eiffel Tower is kind of a long walk.
I get maybe the touristy stuff is far apart, but the place to be is maybe tight.
Yeah. I mean, it's really from one side to the other. It's like 40 minutes maybe.
It was a tough one.
I love walking there. I walk everywhere.
So you went to New York. How was New York the first time you went?
I felt like I knew it because I played Grand Theft Auto 4, and I was like, "Whoa, that's it."
I mean, I play who's in 4? Is 4 the one with you play the 3 characters?
No, that's 5. 4, they're in New York.
Who you play at? Is that what you play as that Russian guy?
Yeah.
I missed that one. I played 3. I played San Andreas.
Yeah.
Skipped 4 and then I played 5.
Yeah, so 4 is New York.
Gotcha.
And I was like, oh, okay, I've been here already. Cool.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And then 21, everybody, I moved to the States to study jazz. And my favorite musician told me, don't move to New York yet. You're not ready. You're going to get depressed, eaten alive. I was like, what about Philly? And he's from Philly. And my favorite drummer is from Philly.
Right.
And I was like,
who's that?
Justin Faulkner.
What does he do?
He's
jazz, I guess?
Yeah, jazz drummer, yeah. Incredible jazz drummer. He's my age, and I saw him when I was 19 in Paris. I saw him play. I was like, what? And I said, wherever he's from, I'll go. He's from Philly. Huh. So I asked everybody, should I go to Philly?
Is Philly actually a good place to learn to play drums, or is that
amazing?
It is a good place.
Amazing, yeah.
You didn't just luck out.
No, I think
it's like, I don't know. Like, I'm from Houston. If you went to Houston to do comedy,
right,
it's a good spot.
Yeah,
it's not the best. I wouldn't say if you were gonna move to tech, I would say go to Austin to do comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Philly was a good spot for drumming.
Incredible, because it's in the culture. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows. Even your neighbors know. Like my neighbors sometimes will run into me and be like, "Yeah, I hear you." They're not musicians, but they know because music is important to them. You know?
Right.
So
and then when were you playing drums? Were you playing drums your whole life?
Yeah, I started when I was 5 with my dad and my brother, because my dad always wanted to play and he wanted something to do with us. And my younger brother was 4, I was 5. He took us to play drums, and I was like, whoa, I love this so much. Yeah,
that's lucky. That's cool. Because my parents didn't do that. My parents weren't getting me into. Cause I've always been a creative, artsy guy. I liked to draw when I was a kid, and then I was doing like theater arts in middle school, even though it was like mostly a blow-off class. But I was doing theater arts, and I had to wait till basically college after college to really start to have the freedom to be like, okay, I want to play piano, and that's why I learned to play piano. And then after college, I'm like, I want to do comedy, and then that's where I'm at now. So that's cool that like early on, right out the gate, your dad gives you something that you actually have carried with you your whole life.
Yeah, no, it was incredible, and I just fell in love with it. It's something I loved. My grandma had a small theater. She would train comics or comedians, not comics. She had a small theater and would train French comedians in English.
Okay.
In Paris, like a small theater, like tiny stage.
What's the distinction you're making between comedian and comic? They're not doing stand-up?
They were not trying to make people laugh.
What were they doing?
Acting, like doing plays and stuff.
But funny?
I don't remember if it was funny or not.
Why are they called comedians then?
I don't know.
That's
actors,
weird.
Like stage actors.
Yeah. How odd.
But and she had a class for kids on Wednesdays, and I took that class even though I was way too young. I was like 4 or 5, and all the kids were 10, and I just loved being on stage. But it was my grandma's theater, so I did whatever I wanted.
Right.
So the whole time, I still have videos of that.
Damn, that's cool. You was just like a little artsy.
And I was,
You were just an artsy French kid.
I was just a kid who loved being on stage and making noise.
You just be.
I would talk the whole time.
Are you a good actor?
I don't know. I'm doing a French guy right now. Can you?
I mean, listen, you're crushing as a French guy.
Thank you so much.
I believe it.
Thanks. I don't know. I don't want to act.
No.
I don't want to I don't know. Maybe one day.
You're just too real, Zach.
Maybe.
You're just too real.
Maybe I'm too real.
I can't be fake. I can't read words written by a guy.
Yeah. I don't like that feeling.
I mean, I've only acted in one play. It was called Junie B. Jones in Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. It was a children's play.
Oh, yeah.
You know Junie B. Jones?
Of course not.
Did that make it over across the pond?
No, what is it?
It's a children's book about a little precocious girl who just can't figure life out. And it's a kid's book. but we did a play about it, and it was a Christmas play. So Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, and I played her best friend.
Okay.
And so it wasn't like the most intense acting role I've ever been in.
Did you like doing it?
I'd never done a play before.
Did you like doing it?
I met my good friend Chewy, who we're still best friends to this day. I liked it. I think I would have liked it. I think if I was doing like a real play, I think it would have been more fun.
Okay.
Because I was just being like, I don't know, never could get. Like I was being like a cartoon character because it was like a kid's book. So, I think I could like acting.
That's the thing I like about stand-up is even though you wrote the stuff, you never know where it's going.
Yeah. I've also never seen you on stage.
Oh yeah, you'll see me tonight.
I will see you tonight.
Unless you go like,
No, I will see you tonight. So what? Okay, so you're in New York and you're like, oh, I know it because I played you on the PlayStation. Cool.
Yeah, I looked at New York. Then I decided to move to Philly at first. Lived there for 3 years.
Honed. How good were you at drums going into Philly?
You're never good enough when you go to Philly.
So even there you felt like a chump.
Oh, my entire life I feel like I'm never gonna be good.
At drums.
At anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that thing where you're just looking for better every time. I enjoyed playing. I just always felt like it's a music is a language, right? So you're never gonna master it. Same thing with English. I'm always like, fuck, I wish I knew more words. Because sometimes I'm having a conversation and I hear one word that I don't know. And for like 30 minutes, I'm thinking about it. And then I figure out like the next day what it is. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could have known that yesterday.
But but if you don't know it, that's the only way you can learn.
Oh, 100%. But that's how I feel with drums all the time.
There's always something more to know. There's always something.
Yes.
There's always another kit.
Yeah.
Another snare.
Yeah.
Another hi-hat.
And I knew that I thought I knew when I got there. And then I realized, oh, nope, you're just in it. Every night you have to go out every night and just get your mind blown every single night. So
at 20 years old, you're jumping in, 20 or 21 years old, you're jumping into a new country, a new scene.
Yeah.
Just like you're doing now with the comedy. You're 100%. Just jumping in and you're like, all right, well, let's figure out where to bang on some drums.
Yeah. Yeah, and I took classes with my favorite drummers.
Did you ever meet that guy?
Oh, he's my best friend now.
Oh shit! Look at you. Yeah. Damn, that's wild. What a thing. Where'd you meet him, in Philly or in Paris?
So I saw him play in Paris. Sent him a message on Facebook, and then I met him in Philly.
Damn.
Like a year and a half later.
Does he think you're good?
He comes to my concerts and he plays with me.
How does he play with you if y'all are both drummers?
I would pick up the tambourine when he went to the drums and then switch.
Damn.
Sometimes we have two drums.
Who's a better tambourine player?
No, he's a master. You can. Yeah, I love playing tambourine. I love playing drums, but I'll never be, as good as him. But it's not the goal. Like the thing I like is you complete each other. When I used to think I want to play like him. But now I kind of want to complete the other people I play with. That's...
You want to be more flexible?
It's not just flexible. It's like what he's good at.
Complementary?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I like
complementary, it means... this might not be a word you know.
I know it.
Okay.
It's complémentaire in French.
What is it?
Yeah, complémentaire.
Complémentaire.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Teach me something.
Hey, bonjour. But yeah, that's I think that's the thing I like the most. It's like I don't want to see 5 comics that do the same and kill the same way.
Right.
I want to see different parts of comedy.
Absolutely.
During one night. And that's what I like about playing with him or in front of him is like I'm not trying to be him.
Right. Isn't that something to learn?
It's beautiful. But when I realized that, I felt better.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, he's over there.
Do you like Chappelle, Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, so I love Dave Chappelle, and he's the GOAT to me. And I found myself for a while I wasn't trying to copy him, but I was trying to like let me reach the heights that Dave Chappelle has reached
Yeah.
at this open mic at a coffee shop that no one gives a fuck about, and you just can't do that. And at some point I learned, I was like, and he's doing all these trans jokes and all these jokes, and people are upset with him. And I'm like, I don't really want that. I don't want people to be mad at me because I don't want to be like an edgy, sort of pushy guy. I want to have some teeth to my bits.
Right.
But ultimately, I just want to be a guy that everyone likes to go see. And I'm like, I don't want to be like him. I just want to be as good as him.
Well, I was talking to someone the other day who told me you'll never be for everyone, because if you were, then you wouldn't be true to yourself.
Yeah.
You would be like watered down. And
I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody.
Exactly.
You know who said that?
No.
Bill Cosby.
Ooh, Billy.
Ooh, so wise.
He definitely tried.
So horrible. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So you're in New York. So
yeah.
Okay, so you're in Philly for 3 years. You're doing your thing. You're learning. You're hitting.
But then I hit a wall. I'm like, this is never gonna go anywhere.
Right.
A lot of great Philly musicians are on tour all the time, but they've been in Philly since they were kids.
Right.
You'll never take their spot, and that's not what I want either. And I don't really want to be on tour with a big act, because you just end up being nobody, just a working musician. And so I went to New York, because New York will give you a personality if you don't have one. You don't choose it. You just go.
What does that mean?
It's like, it's so many.
I haven't been to New York. I'm about to move there.
Oh man,
I've been there. I've visited there, but I haven't entered New York, and New York hasn't entered me, so to speak.
So the best and the worst of everything are there.
Sure.
The best and the worst of everything on earth are in New York. You're competing with all of them. You don't really have time to make friends, even if you want to. It's really rough, because nobody has time to do that the first few years,
Sure.
And then, I started living in a basement, subletting from a guy, and my drums were in the sub-basement. And he told me I could just pay him cash every month. But after a month, they were like, hey, where are you going to go next? I'm like, well, he told me I could stay here. He's like, oh, no, we're renting this room in a week. So then somebody in the house was like, you want to share my room with me? We split half and half. It's like a small bedroom, $375 each.
Why would someone want to split a room with somebody?
Saving money, because it's New York.
Yeah, but I mean, $375 is insanely cheap.
Yeah, but when you
Sure.
make $400 a month and you're just eating peanut butter and bread, that's what I was doing. I was just doing peanut butter sandwiches every day.
And you were just drumming.
I did not have any students back then.
Okay.
Ready?
It went away. I was gonna sneeze. It went away.
Then I started getting, drum students, but I would have to rent a studio to go teach them, and they would cancel when I got there. I would still have to pay the studio for 2 hours. So then I started teaching French a little more, but they would make me travel to their offices wherever they were, and I would spend 4 or 5 hours a day on the subway. And after a while, I would lose it, You're not making money, you're not playing gigs. So I found another place to live. I lived with my cousins, lived in Harlem at somebody's house where the bedroom was the size of a bed. You couldn't open the door fully because the bed was right there.
Right.
And it was a bunk bed, not a bunk bed, like a lofted bed, because I had my drums under it. And
how do you lug drums around New York if you're being kicked out of a place every week?
I was getting kicked out every 2 months because
how do you move drums around?
Subway. I was crazy. I got pictures.
You have a bass. You have
I got pictures of me with like it's not a trolley, but something small where you carry the drums, and I had all the hardware and a guitar
How
case.
did you what who are you? You're
Yeah, that was crazy.
You're out here carrying drums around New York City, and then you're out here right now going to all 50 states. Where does this, I don't even know what you call it, tenacity? Where does this something come? Why are you doing this? What is the thing in you that is making you do this?
I love new places. I love new challenges, I guess. And I want to do things authentically, which is, to me, a lot of it, you have to, if you really want it, you have to suffer,
Yeah, but you doing a lot of suffering. That don't seem like you got to do all that now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I'm suffering. I feel like I'm enjoying everything I'm doing.
That seems pretty miserable to me. But I really took my time to get to. I'm like, I got me a job. I got me all my shit set up. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. And you're like, all I need is my drums. My drums will keep me warm.
Yeah, that was awesome. I loved it.
That's wild.
I would carry them on the subway from Harlem to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
To just go play a $50 gig on a Wednesday in Williamsburg, and then go back. And that's why my back is all messed up.
I mean, yeah. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Damn, your back's messed up at 31?
Yeah.
That sucks.
It's been busted since I was 20. Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so then when does comedy come into this?
Comedy's always been there, but it's never been like something I had the balls to do full time. Does that make sense? I would go see so many shows, and every time I was like, I feel like, oh, that's something that's in me, I can feel it. Since I was like, I don't know, I've been watching comics since I was 10, listening to cassettes, CDs, and
who's that one guy? The French one.
Gad Elmaleh?
Yeah, who?
Gad Elmaleh is the French one who does comedy in English too.
What's his name?
Gad. G-A-D.
Yeah, Gad. Why didn't you say that?
Gad Elmaleh is his last name.
I've never seen his last name. He always in America. He's just Gad.
Gad.
I think he's just Gad in America.
Okay.
He has a Netflix show called Just Gad. So that's how I know. But yeah. Do you like him? Is he cool?
I respect anybody famous. I don't.
It's like me with the play. But do you like him?
I liked him more before I heard that he stole jokes.
Oh, he stole jokes?
Yeah. There's a whole 30 or 15-minute videos on YouTube of American stand-up and then him saying the same thing verbatim in French. So I liked him more before that. Now I'm like, I don't know if he did on purpose, because sometimes by accident you say something that you heard like 2 weeks before.
And it seems like, like history of comedy. I mean, obviously I don't know the history of French comedy, but it seems like he's old too. He's like his 50s, 60s. 50? So like back in the day, if you had like a really good joke, like a really good bit, like that could really make a career. Yeah. So if he just stole one good bit from this person or that person, that can really pop off a career, and you can kind of keep afloat with some mediocre
He stole so
stuff.
many from different years, different shows, like a whole 10-minute chunk, Do
you remember what the joke was, or who it was stolen from?
There's George Carlin, there's Seinfeld, there's so many. Yeah. So many, and you're like, this is obviously, even the hand gestures are the same. You're like, okay, that's not an accident.
Damn. Well.
And it's just painful, because when he was interviewed afterwards, he didn't say, he said, oh, I got inspiration from them. But he didn't say like, sorry, I fucked up, Right. I don't know what I would have done. I just don't like feeling like I'm stealing, which is probably hard when you've been doing it for 20 years, 30 years, Right. But
who's your favorites though? Who are some favorites?
Who's my favorite?
Some favorite comics.
I think
French or otherwise.
I think Patrice O'Neill is my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
I would love to see you get up there, and you're like, you're off stage. You're like, hey, I'm about to go on stage, and then you're like, what's up, you fat titty bitch? I'm like, oh my god, I would love for you to suddenly become. I think is he from Philly?
Patrice O'Neill is from France, from Paris. Patrice O'Neill.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that big black motherfucker is.
I think he's from Boston, but I might be wrong.
I think you might be right. I don't know. I feel like Philly feels right to me, but I could easily be wrong.
I want to look it up because I don't want to sound like I don't know my new country. Patrice O'Neill. He was born in New York.
Okay. So he's just a New York dude. This is how you say fat titty bitch.
Fat titty bitch.
I fuck you right in your fat titties, bitch.
Yeah, I love him because he goes for the deeper laughs, which doesn't make everybody laugh, but it's so raw and true.
Yeah, his style hasn't really been replicated since.
I mean,
he was really on to something unique.
Yeah, I hear him in Bill Burr sometimes. I hear him in different people. I hear parts of Patrice, you know?
Yeah, but you go back and listen to like that last album, Mr. P or whatever.
Yeah.
And
incredible.
man, he was on to he was still getting to a place. Yeah. Him today would be, goes without saying, a juggernaut. He was juggernaut back then.
Yeah, he's my favorite. Even when he's bombing, is so captivating to watch.
Yeah.
And I'd love to say things as raw as he does, and you're like, whoa, this feels like the best wine you've ever had. You're like, wow, this is just perfect.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's the most expensive, or doesn't mean you have to be, to know a lot about it. It's just great and raw. Yeah. So
what is that? Is there some Patrice in you on stage? I've never seen you. I
don't want to be like him. I want to complete, have another, like yin and yang. I want to be that part that's different. But no, I don't know. I don't think so. You'll tell me.
I can't wait to see, because I'm like, man, this is fascinating. I don't know what it's gonna be. I have no idea, and it's very exciting.
10 minutes of silence. But we'll see.
You're a mime. Your whole act is you're a mime. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker is French.
Mime. He hasn't said a thing.
And you're miming, fat titties, bitch. Fuck you and your fat titties. It's like, oh, there, I see the Patrice.
Yeah, I like the misguiding thing. I don't move a lot on stage. It's like the opposite of a mime. You're like, why is he not moving?
Okay, so when does comedy come in? And you said it's always been around. Does that mean you're always doing mics? You're always performing? Or is it just because I used to do music too, and there's you do a thing. I'm playing piano, and everyone claps.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, this next song, everybody, and I throw in a little joke here.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, that was funny. And I'm like,
so I
prefer those parts more than the music.
Well, I still. So here's the thing. With comedy, people don't forgive you much if they don't like one thing you said. But with music, they forgive you because they don't understand what you're doing. And they're like, well, that's so pretty. And I wish comedy could be as pretty as music when we mess up,
Right.
Because comedy, sometimes people get like really pissed at you for saying something wrong, or the way you say it, or the way they think you said it too,
Sure.
Like I have a joke where white people say it's racist, but there's no white people in that joke, and they're the only ones saying it's racist.
Okay.
And it's not about white people.
Who's it about?
You'll see tonight.
Man, I'm about to throw this podcast episode away. I'm gonna be like, Zach is racist, man. A race.
Well, it's not. No, it's not. But because it's about race, and they don't have any. So I lived.
Also, you're a white dude saying it, and sort of inherently, people are like, well, I don't know where that comes from.
So yeah, here's the story. I lived in Philly. The first year I moved to the States, I lived with a black family. And I learned an aspect of the life in the States that most white people don't have.
Sure, yeah.
Because nobody...
Did you use a
washcloth?
Rarely.
Yeah. I did use a washcloth. Yeah. I had to disinfect the bathtub every time I would take a shower. Did you do that too?
I never did that, but I went to my cousin's house, and he was like, "You need to clean the tub," and I was like, I don't really know what you mean. I don't understand. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
So that was a thing.
I lived with them. I went to their church. I played. I was the only drummer at the the white guy at a black church, and then I became the only white drummer at a black church, and I started playing in 3 different black churches. I was only around black people for a whole year. And
do they have any fun nicknames for you?
Anytime the pastor would say something about white people, he would turn to me and say, "Except for you, Zach."
That's so funny.
But
I love the idea of someone saying you playing the drums for the first time and they're like, "Man, Bonjour can play." Like, I just love.
No, they didn't do that. I can't think of anything. It was more like they embraced me right away.
Yeah, of course.
It was never a question. But when I talk about it, a lot of white people that haven't been around a lot of black people that don't understand, and they think it's racist because they think I'm making fun of them. No, I'm talking about my experience as a white person or a French person living in an American family. You know, it's more like a French person living with Americans more than a white guy living with black dudes.
Right.
Or black people.
Well, you know what? Listen, I do race jokes on stage as well.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier for me because I'm black.
Yeah.
But, you know, these crackers out here, these honkies. Have you heard those? You know,
crackers?
You know crackers and honkies?
I know crackers, but not honkies.
Honkies is just an old-fashioned derogatory term for white people. It's a fun one to throw around. Maybe you could use it tonight.
Hey, honkies.
Hey, just the casual. Hey, honkies.
What's up, honkies?
What's up, honkies? You won't get in trouble. It'll be fine. But yeah, they don't like it when I say shit sometimes. And I'm actually writing some jokes right now, specifically about the N-word. That is like, y'all get so fucking weird around the N-word, and just kind of like joking about it. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Where it's like it's totally fine, but they still don't like it. They just don't like it emotionally, which for me, I'm like, all right, I got to write it better.
When I say it on stage, it's fine. It's more like on Instagram. A lot of people don't understand stand-up, and they're like, "Oh my god,
you can't even."
Oh no,
can't even believe anything they say on there.
100%. You just see it, and you're like, "Okay, they don't get it."
Yeah. So when did your first open mic?
First open mic doing stand-up was October 26th last year.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're like fresh into it.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, after 4 months, I went on my first tour doing stand-up. I opened for a famous guy from Hawaii. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to make the same mistake I did with music. I have to take it seriously right away. I mean, I was serious about music, but I wanted to tour because when you tour, 1 week on the road feels like a month.
Sure, yeah.
So, yeah, I just... wanted to expose myself right away. Film every set, listen back to it, rewrite it. And I've been comfortable on stage because been on stage my whole life.
Yeah, literally.
It was more it's still more about just being present as possible and having fun.
Yeah. Man, that's wild. So and now you're going around all these states. Doing all 50 states. I guess it's going to take a year.
A year and a half, maybe.
Yeah, a year.
Maybe 2.
A year plus, and you're committed to that.
Yeah.
What have you gained in the last 7 states? Whether it's comedy related, what have you learned? Whether it's just about America, about touring and traveling and seeing all the places and seeing like the you're not like, you're not Chappelle, you're not Gad.
Yeah.
Going around playing arenas and theaters and having a great time. You're fucking open mics everywhere you go.
Yeah.
What has that experience been like?
Well, it's very humbling first, because again, I can get booked on shows if I want to, but I like that open mics suck so much that it'll force me to understand the scene really fast, because when you go to an open mic, the first 5 to 10 comics you're going to hear in a new city will tell you everything you need to know about that city.
Interesting. What does that mean?
If you go to Portland, you listen to the first 5 comics, you know what that city is about right away, because they're local comics and they tell you they have jokes about the local stuff,
Right.
because they don't know that there's somebody from out of state here.
Right.
And
So what is Portland? Based on the first that you remember from the first 5 comics, what are some jokes that you're like, okay, I see what.
Well, it's a lot of lesbian jokes. It's a lot of more lesbian comics there.
Saw a hot lesbian girl. She turned around. It was a 12-year-old boy. Buzzing.
No.
That's a good one, right? That's pretty
It's
good.
amazing.
Might write it down. Might use it.
Yeah, do it.
I've heard that joke before.
But no, it's a more diverse scene. But it's still very white. When I went,
no, just playing.
Yeah.
Of course it's white.
well, I didn't know. I'd never been. Seattle felt like way more feminist.
Okay.
And less open-minded. Maybe more open-minded on one side, but
right.
close-minded to the other side.
To the comedy, edgy stuff. Yeah. To your black people jokes.
Yeah, because they don't understand how a white person could talk about that. But I'm like, I'm not coming from your experience, you know? I have my story that you have to listen to, but sometimes you don't have time to tell your whole story. So, but that judgment feels good, because then it gets the bad skin out of the story. You know, you get the better stuff.
Sure, yeah.
You know, you're shedding skin and you're like, cool, this needs to be thinner. We keep going at it. Denver was very white, you know, and it's only jokes.
Oh, these white cities.
Yeah, jokes about hikes,
And
jokes
now you're in
about
Austin,
weed.
Man.
Yeah.
When are you going to Atlanta?
I was there last year. I'm going back, actually.
Oh, that's what I thought.
I was there in April.
You're going to be like, oh my God, that's so black.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Such a black city.
It was amazing.
I felt like I was at home again in Philly.
Yeah, there you go. I can't wait to be in Philly too. But again, I'm doing these open mics because I want to learn about the cities,
Right.
each place, and that teaches you a lot about yourself too, you know?
Oh,
The rejection, you understand.
What city liked you so far?
It's not the
With
city,
comedy.
it's the night. It's really the night and the crowd.
I feel like I went to Chicago and I performed not even that many times. I performed a few times, and I just felt from these audiences, I'm like, y'all ain't down with something. Y'all are more conservative than I thought Chicago was going to be. Like socially, not socially, not politically, not like we don't like gays and Mexicans build a wall. I mean like conservative as in normal, like normie. Right. Like they're like, boys should wear khakis and girls should wear skirts. And then I'm up here talking about, and you know, everyone should be polite.
Yeah.
And gays are fine, and so is trans. But everyone, let's all be polite. And then I come up there and I'm a little impolite, and they're like, well, we don't care for that around these parts. That was the vibe.
But how many shows did you do there?
Not that many.
Because like
I did 3 or 4.
Yeah, I had
that was enough.
From the same club, I had an amazing set at an open mic, and then a shitty set opening for someone coming from LA. Because that night it was a Sunday and it was empty. Nobody was down to laugh. I mean, they were down, just tired, you know.
Yeah.
And I've seen an amazing comic that I interviewed in Vegas do a Friday night, kill it. Same club Monday night, no energy, nothing.
Right.
So. You can't have. I had a horrible experience in Portland, then a great experience in Portland, then my favorite experience in Portland, and then a shitty one. It just you have to accept that, and that's what I'm learning from talking to all the comics around the country. It's not really the city; it's the crowd, depending on who's there, what their mood is.
Yeah, but I can say there's some pretty typical Austin crowds. There's a few kinds of crowds that Austin has. I
have one of the worst sets in Austin last week because there was a group of drunk people in the front row. They were playing with chairs, folding chairs, and trying to break them. They
were playing with folding chairs in the front of a comedy show.
Yeah.
Was it a comedy show or was it like a...
It was a comedy show.
Where was
East Austin Comedy Club.
Really? People were fucking around there?
Yeah,
it's such a tight... 40 people in there.
Everybody had to tell them to stop, and they wouldn't stop. And so they gave free tickets to everyone that came that night. But that was one of the worst because they were so drunk.
Right.
And shitty people.
Wow.
I don't know if they're shitty people. I don't want to say that, but they were
they're
like
shitty people.
they were not respectful.
They should all die by those chairs. Throw a pile of chairs on them till they all die. Don't come more comedy shows. Yeah, I said it, Zach. It's that kind of podcast.
Hello?
Like, hello? Did I black out? I'm sorry.
But
Just
so
kidding.
yeah, Austin has been great, but one of my worst nights was here, but that's because of them. The atmosphere was heavy and horrible.
Yeah.
I've done shows in Atlanta at a dog park. That was terrible too.
Yeah, you got a dog park.
Yeah. Have you done a show at a dog park before?
No, but I don't think I would. I don't like dogs. I don't like doing comedy outside.
Yeah, I learned a lot that night.
I learned a lot. I learned both of those things.
Yeah.
So where do you like? Because we were talking at the club in the 5 minutes we were talking before this. You're like, I like talking to people.
Yeah.
I like going out and being social. That seems like the worst. The worst part of comedy for me is the part where you don't know anybody.
I love that.
And you're going out and you're like, fuck, here we go. And you're like hoping that you meet somebody. And
I'm not hoping. I know it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm shyer than you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like the social aspect because to me, every scene, not even comedy, music, everything is the same. Even if you become a chef, have a restaurant, make some wine, to me, it's just the same thing over and over again. You know, it's just there's a few people that do the same thing and you have to meet them all. They all hang out at the same place, you know, and you know those places because you live here.
Right.
But I don't live here. I ask one person and if she knows the scene, then she unlocks everything, you know, or he. That night it was Brett.
Yeah, don't forget about he's.
Well, that night it was Brett.
Brett was the one?
Yeah, we did a show together.
Don't you love Brett?
Yeah, she's great.
Brett's
Super
great.
cool. Yeah.
Brett Vervoort, everybody. Look her up.
Vervoort. I don't
Is
know how
that
to
French?
say that. No, it sounds Dutch.
It is Dutch. She's
Yeah.
mentioned that. I spent a year in Amsterdam.
Well, I spent 1 week. Sounded Dutch. But
You're right, it is Dutch. Hell yeah.
but I love that you find one person that unlocks the scene, then you meet people.
What's your impression of the Austin scene? The Austin comedy scene, not the city so much, but the scene.
It seems very crowded.
Okay.
Seems like there's a lot of people. I've heard great sets. But it's hard to be everywhere because, you know, I have to be on stage too, and I have to film, and it's really hard to go everywhere. But I like the energy here. It feels like there's a big energy.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's room for. I don't know. It feels like the open mics are. Do people pay attention at open mics here?
No.
Yeah, because but there's better shows, right?
Yeah. Is this your first show tonight?
No.
So you've done a show. What show did you do?
This week I've done. I'll tell you. This is me singing to kill time. So I did the Thrive Comedy Hour, Kick Butt Coffee.
Sure.
That was a mic. That was a mic.
Yeah, mic.
East Austin Comedy Club. I did 2. I did a show called Fancy Pants. That's a new show.
Fancy Pants. Where's that?
That was Southwest. It was really cool.
Cool.
It was comedy and it's people singing and different stuff. I didn't stay for the whole thing.
Okay.
I did Speakeasy. Have you seen Speakeasy?
Once people start singing and fucking, I don't know what's out here. Speakeasy.
Have you been there?
I have. I always forget which is that the place with the stage and there's like that balcony thing up there?
Yeah, where they play bowling. Yeah. So open mics are like not as good here as other places because some other places advertise open mics as like shows.
Right.
And the crowds are better there because they're like, you know, I've seen some great open mics on the road.
Right.
But there's so many great shows here.
Yeah. So is this thing you're doing, the 50 states tour, is this a way to get better as a comic? Is this a way to see the country in a fun way? Is this a way to, you know, what do you hope? Is this a way to just do a documentary and complete that and have this thing that you made?
Well, it's all three. See the country, get better, faster.
Sure.
And also stay on your toes, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I've been doing comedy in Hawaii for a year. And as soon as I went outside of Hawaii, I got better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so much better.
What was the like initial genesis of this idea?
Started comedy in October last year, end of October last year. Then I went to Paris for Christmas, and I did stand up there in English too. And I met some comics from the States, French comics that were doing it in English, comics from North Africa doing it in English too, with a bad accent and not really a good translation, so their jokes sometimes wouldn't land.
Right.
And I was like, it's important to take it out, you know? Like, don't just do stand-up in English in Paris. Go somewhere where they actually speak English.
Sure, yeah.
You know? And I realized, just for me, to go do it in France right after starting already made me get better. And also, I just love the idea of taking it on the road, because as a musician, if I want to take a band on the road, I have to pay for 3 people's hotels, 3 people's transportation, 3 people's everything. So it's always a big number. Stand up, I found a couch for myself at a friend's house. That's it. There's no cost.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
that is one of the perks of it. I feel it's nice to just like, you know, when I've gotten paid to do stuff, whenever I've made like some more money than just like $20-$30 at a show, it's like, man, it's crazy. I just went in there, picked up a microphone, 10 minutes later put it down, and then like got paid to do that. Like, it's pretty wild. I didn't have to lug, I didn't have to play, I just went and was like, hello everybody, here's some thoughts, and then I said the thoughts, and then
exactly,
it's pretty cool when that happens.
But I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it because I love it, and I want to take the chance and give myself the chance to become better. And I'm not afraid of anything. And I just think if you really gonna do something, do it 100%.
Sure, yeah. So what do you hope to do with the documentary? So you're gonna have I saw you were showing me some of the stuff you had, like just B-rolls of a lot of different, you know. Here's Austin Street. Here's the venue. Here's
street venues, crowds. Different.
Obviously, I'm sure you're setting up the camera and filming your sets.
Filming my sets, but my sets is more like for me.
Okay.
I want to show I interview comics on the road that I've been doing it for maybe 30 years.
Right.
And I want to share that with other people too, you know? So for now, the idea is to do 1 episode per city. Maybe that will change, you know, but I want it to be like a resource. So if you want to go to Chicago, you watch the Chicago episode.
Sure.
And you see everywhere I've been to and what the person I interviewed there has to say about the scene in Chicago or around the country. Because the more you do it, the more you realize it's the same everywhere. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really matter where you are, because the crowd is going to change every time regardless.
Yeah.
I just want to see the country, and that is like a journey I want to take and document, because I wish I had done that with music. But because I have that experience with music, I'm able to like transfer it to something else, which if it wasn't stand-up, I would have done it for poker, for example.
Done it for poker?
Yeah, I love playing poker.
So you would have been a touring poker
Yeah, I would
person?
have wanted to be that. It seems like from a few people I've talked to about who are professional players, it's a dark existence, because with stand-up,
it's gambling. It's like,
yeah.
Do you like gambling? You said you like poker.
I love poker.
I love gambling.
No, I don't like that.
I like putting down money and winning more. I get a high from it.
Yeah.
Gambling's illegal in Texas. You can't do it.
Yeah.
If you could, I would lose everything.
But you can play poker here. There's rooms.
Can you?
Yeah.
Is it like those scary
No,
poker
it's like
sharks where they're like, oh, Frenchie comes in, gonna break his legs and take his money if he doesn't pay up. Or
I don't know. I haven't had time to go.
Well, you should check it. Scoot on over. Spend another $12.50 and scoot on over there.
But a friend went the other night. He made $900.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good. It's better than
Yeah.
900 sets.
Yeah, I got a. Have you ever? Has anyone told you, or have you went to the lodge since you've been here?
Mm-mm.
It's like a local speakeasy bar.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it off mic, but yeah, they like to gamble there.
Cool.
We'll see. I might end up there tonight if you want to come through, but
Let me know.
Also, you're gonna be at Creek, which is sort of like a different area, so it's whatever you want to do.
You'll be at the creek too.
Yeah, but I probably won't hang out there for too long. Yeah, I'll hang up there for the whole show, but we'll see what happens afterwards.
Yeah, let me know. But yeah, I would have done that with something else. If it wasn't stand-up, if it was food, like Anthony Bourdain,
sure,
just going around the world showing you behind the scenes, and then killing yourself, you know?
Well, that's part of the fun.
Yeah, it's like,
like dinner, dessert, suicide. That's kind of what it is.
The 3Ds.
The 3Ds. So you're doing this, and you're going around.
Because you learn so much more than if you're just traveling on your own, not doing a documentary. I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what? You know?
So are you fucking a lot?
Fucking a lot of people?
Yes.
Human beings?
Human people as you're going
man.
around.
I don't have that time, you know?
Are you like, I'm just in town for a week. I'm making a documentary, doing...
No, I want true love.
Are you a sweetie?
No, I want true love.
Are you a sweetie?
Yeah.
Whoa, you're a sweetie? You could be out here getting it. You could be out here smashing.
How?
But you just want a nice girl to hold hands with.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Damn. I guess you're not dating anybody now.
No, it's just, I have 43 states to go to, you know? It's really hard to find someone who will be patient enough, and me.
Listen, you know? That's what you're doing is like, hey, do you mind if I spend a year and a half just twiddling away my time in all these states? That's a hard ask for somebody.
Yeah, but it's, I meet incredible comics. I was gonna say musicians, but comics, and I don't have much energy for anything, because I'm really tired. I'm trying to be out every night.
But the French accent's gotta help.
It does if you're trying to just do that,
Listen, no one's okay, so fine. Like, listen, we all sweeties and we all like people. Listen, I got a beautiful girlfriend, and we like to cuddle and we kiss it when we Eskimo kiss and we say beautiful things to each other.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's awful.
But if you a French comic with your camera filming everything, someone's gonna come up and be like, "Bonjour."
Oh, I've had bonjour, but
merci.
I've had merci too.
Comment ça va?
That less of that.
Oh, is that French?
But still, just less of that sentence.
Oh, yeah, sure. I guess.
I don't really care. I'm doing. But I don't really. I don't have the energy to invest in meeting different people everywhere. It's like either it happens and I'm lucky, but the second date is like, okay, what are we doing now?
Okay, but I guess I just mean more flings, one night stands.
I stay with friends. I don't bring people at their house, You
go to their house.
Sometimes not.
I've been in Austin a little longer than you. And this is how you get some Austin. This is how you get some Austin ass. Okay, this is what you do. Number one, you have the accent, so you already got it. Keep the striped shirt. It looks very French. It's gonna work for you.
It's not a shirt.
It's not a shirt?
It's my skin.
It's your skin. Yeah. You were wearing the same skin the other night, so I'm like, hell yeah.
Thicker skin the other night. The stripes were thicker.
Oh, were they? Yeah,
this is a short sleeves.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame, man. You got to try to get some ass while you're out here.
I'm not trying to. It's fine. The journey's long, and that's not what it's about.
So what
it's too bad,
I was going to ask you a crazy question. I can't ask that to a stranger. I just met you.
Go ahead. Just cut it if it's too...
Listen, you're not fucking.
Mm-hmm.
You're staying on people's couches.
Mm-hmm.
You must get backed up.
What does that mean?
There's a lot of it.
Oh.
It's got to come out.
Oh. Then watch my set tonight.
You go, oh. You go, oh.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, no, I mean splooge. That's what I mean.
Oh yeah, that's my first joke tonight. You can watch it.
I mean, listen, that's everyone's first joke. We all got a good cum joke in us.
Yeah. Or out of us.
I mean, there's that too. It must be tough, man.
No, it's cool.
In the shower, probably.
No. No.
So if you were staying on my couch and I was sleeping right there.
No. No, it's usually when the pizza is getting delivered and you go out for like 2 seconds.
That's what it was?
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
Camera was on.
The camera was on, you're
Yeah.
like, all right, I got enough time.
Yeah.
Let me get some grease from the cheesy bread. Okay.
No, I like it dry.
You like it dry. Man, so you're not fucking, you're really just doing it for the art and for the growth and for the where'd you get this love of adventure? I guess it's kind of in your family. I mean,
I'm from a small town. Yeah, maybe. Like this time we're not chased by anyone, you know?
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, I'm from a small town, 800 people. Either you have a kid when you're 15 or you get out of it and you do something with your life. I moved to Paris. I wanted to play music. Music takes you around the world.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of things I would not have seen had I not been a musician.
Sure.
And but then I was like, I don't want to do it with a band anymore. I want to be on my own. And also, I prefer making people laugh.
Yeah.
I prefer making people laugh. And that's the only option, you know?
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see you tonight.
Yeah, me too.
I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun for us to have this conversation and then be like, all right, let's see. Yeah, we talked to each other. We connected as humans, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what really matters.
Yeah.
Let's see the jokes. So that'll be fun to do.
Yeah, don't watch my stuff online before coming.
No, I
so
won't.
you can have some surprises.
You can watch my stuff. I think I'm mostly doing new stuff tonight.
I've watched it all.
I don't believe you. So this is a podcast. It's about where I talk to my successful friends.
Yeah.
About life and growth and self-improvement and stuff like that. And so it's sort of an advicey thing as well. So advice. This is quick fire advice. What's your advice for Europeans moving to America?
Doing stand-up or just moving to the States?
Just both.
Well, it's hard. When you're European, you're trying to find things you love from home here, and they're never here, you know? It's for anyone moving anywhere.
Sad.
It's hard because home is not... is.
We have baguettes.
Yeah.
We have berets.
Yeah. Your turn? Is it my turn?
I must know something more specifically French. I don't think.
No, but like for a long time, it's hard to let go of home and discover the new things and fall in love with them because everything is so different everywhere.
Right.
But when I went to China, I tried Chinese food, the real Chinese food, not the American Chinese food, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I fell in love with it, and I can't wait to go back to have it again.
Right.
So, yeah, really, I would say for anyone moving anywhere, let go of where you're coming from and try to really embrace where you are and find the beauty in it, because there is all this stuff you love from somewhere is transferable. It's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
But it's important to be present everywhere you go so you can fully enjoy, even if it's not the perfect bread that you're used to.
Y'all got such better bread.
You guys cut the croissant in half and make it a sandwich. We'd never do that in France, even if you gave us $1,000.
You wouldn't, but it's pretty good when we do it, though.
I've never tried, and I will never try it.
Damn.
I can't do that to my culture.
You just said, hey, everybody enjoy where you're at. Take it for what it is, except for the croissant sandwiches.
Don't fuck up our croissant. Don't do this.
I mean, but have you had our croissants? They're not even croissants.
No, they're not.
It's just like bread-shaped croissant.
Yeah.
Like a croissant is flaky, and you pull it apart, and you're like, it's just simple.
Yeah.
The shit we have here is like...
It's cardboard. It's cardboard. Cardboard sandwich.
Oh, cardboard.
Yeah.
What? How did you, and how so? Did you take?
How many questions are there?
Well, now this is a question I just thought of. How did you take jazz and bring it into your comedy?
Improvisation. That's why I want to do this whole documentary, it's like it's improvised, right? I don't plan anything. I go to each place, try to learn as much as possible from just being there. I have no reason to be there. Had there not been planes or boats, I wouldn't even be here. You wouldn't be here. So let's just enjoy each place and try to learn as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And from music, I love the fact that when you play with a really good band, you can start a song and it can go any direction, depending on how good you listen to each other and how good you interact with each other. You know, that's how great conversations happen, you know? Jazz is just a way of having a conversation through music. Comedy is another way of having a conversation. And are you connected? Are you connecting with the audience when you speak? Are you connecting with the musicians when you play? You know, it's that thing where we're all in this together. And if you are not there, I cannot make it happen on my own. Because if you play in front of an audience, if you speak in front of an audience, it's different than just doing it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that it's all improvised. Even stand-up, you don't know what the crowd is going to be like.
Sure, yeah.
Until you hear that reaction. And even sometimes you think you have them and then you lose them. You're like, oh, well, why? It's just improvised and it's just in the moment. And that's why it's just, to me, it's the same.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like sex.
But you don't do that, so.
It's just like sex.
It's like sex, you do it alone on your friend's couch.
Do it alone on your friend's couch.
The French way.
When they're eating pizza. But no, it's like sex. It's like if you have to ask if it's good, then it's probably not.
But you should also check in, you know.
Is it good?
Just afterwards, you should check in and just make sure everything's good, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like after you finish a set, you run back on stage and you say, "Was that okay?"
Yeah, it probably wasn't.
Was that okay? I did some crazy stuff there. I hope I didn't. Oh.
Yeah.
Can I come back tomorrow? I haven't been on stage in a while.
Please.
What's your advice for couch surfing?
That's rough. I'm really tired all the time because sometimes it doesn't work out. So
you just have to sleep on your scooter?
No, sometimes I get I have a friend who gave me her code for different hotels. Like I get 40% off.
Oh, that's what's up.
In case of emergency, but that's still a little expensive. I've had to rent Airbnbs where you share the bathroom with other people, so that's pretty cheap. Again, I teach during the day, so I can afford to, if I have to, get an Airbnb. But I try to go to cities where I already know people, where I have friends from just touring as a musician too. I know a lot of people in different states, and I teach French to people across the states. So I stay with students or friends of students sometimes. Yeah, I would say
go places where you know people,
or ask people. You know.
Okay, I feel like
that's
that
really
is
hard.
A socially delicate thing to ask.
Yeah.
You just met me. You could ask to stay on my couch.
Yeah, 100%.
And I would say no.
100%.
But what's the way to ask to get the best? What's the best way to ask to get the yes?
Well, I can look at the first text I sent for someone I didn't know in what is it called? Seattle. It's a friend of my student. She's maybe in her 50s, and what did I say? We sent a lot of text. I think I said we FaceTimed first because we didn't know each other, right? So somebody recommended me and it was like, you guys should hang out. You'd be so, like, you would really get along. And I said, hey, this is Zach, Jennifer's friend. Do you still have a room available end of July, beginning of August for a French stand-up comedian / jazz drummer? I'm looking to explore the comedy scene and for 1 to 4 weeks, depending on what's best for you. I'm shooting a documentary. Let me know how much you would charge and or what you would need in exchange. I'm very clean, quiet, extremely French. I mean, respectful. See, little joke in there.
Yeah, it was a little joke.
Happy to FaceTime you if you would like to talk. You can also email me, blah, blah, blah. Or go to my website to see my face, bio, jokes, jazz drumming. Merci. And then she said, okay, let's talk. And then after we talked, she was like, okay, come as long as you
want.
want.
Very polite.
Yeah.
Very charming. Throw a joke in there.
Little joke.
You led with all your most interesting things. Yeah. French, drummer, comedian, documentary.
Yeah, clarity. Like, don't let people decide for you. And also show them that you know what you want. You know. And be respectful. Like, 1 to 4 weeks. So if you say 1 to 2, they're going to say 1. If you say 1 to 4, 2. But don't stay too long if you feel like it's not working. It was working great at her house, but that was hard because I was sleeping in her office. There was like a small... Right. It was smaller than a couch. And in the morning at 8, she would have to get me out of there so she could work. Yeah. So that was very tiring because I would go to bed at 2 and wake up at 8 and go to the cafe to either like get a coffee and write or fall back asleep on the couch downstairs.
Okay.
That was the first one. Portland, I couldn't find a place to stay. I was going to stay with a friend, but I thought he lived in Portland, but he doesn't at all. He was just on vacation there. He was like, bro, I'm on vacation with my parents. What are you doing? I was like, oh, sorry. I thought you had a house here. So I got an Airbnb for like $50 a night, sharing a bathroom. Very cool. Same thing in San Francisco. I thought until the last day I would have a place to stay for free for a week. Didn't work out this way. I found a cheap place to stay. LA, the place was so shitty that Airbnb got me my money back.
Damn.
I was going to stay with friends too, but they got a baby and didn't work out.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
You just got to be ready to be flexible.
But Airbnb sent me all my money back for that trip. Denver, I got a friend there. Stayed at his place for a week. He wasn't even there. It was just like, yeah, stay there. Vegas, stayed with my students.
Damn, that's scandalous.
Yeah, that's lucky, you know.
I'm going to call the Twitter police because that is a story.
Yeah, and here I'm staying with my old roommate from New York.
Yeah, and you're not fucking anybody. Yeah, it's hair. You're not fucking anybody in any of these places.
Are you jealous?
Am I jealous that you're not fucking?
Yeah.
No, of course. What do you mean?
Are you jealous?
I'm not jealous that you're
not. You
want
to stop fucking? Go on the road.
Well, listen. And then the last piece of advice, which is what's your advice for me on how to beat you?
How to beat me?
Yeah, just how to beat you. Just at life and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Comedy, I guess.
Stop fucking.
Stop fucking? Damn. I guess you're always going to win then, buddy, because I can't help it. Hey, everybody, come on. Well, listen, that's the end. Thank you so much for being here. You got anything to plug? Where do we find this documentary when it comes out? What's your Instagram?
For now,
what are you doing?
My Instagram is Zach_Mama, ZACH_MAMA.
MAMA.
The Instagram for the documentary is called The French from France. You can also say The French from France. However you want to say it.
Cat. If you're a cat, you go France.
It will be, for now, it's going to be on YouTube, but I don't know yet. Maybe somewhere else down the road. It's not edited yet. This is episode 7. I want to wait until I have half of the episodes ready to start promoting it and talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going to lead, but my website, zachmama.com.
Zach Mama.
That's
your last name?
Mama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's lying. I've talked to you for an hour and I'm like, I know when you're lying.
That's my last name.
You have a tell. I don't believe it.
That's my last name.
I don't believe it.
I'll show you. Look at my website.
Where's your? I know you had your passport on you last time.
No, I got my website. If you want to check it out.
No, that doesn't count. My website's Tyler Jizzpants. That's not my last name.
Jizzpants is a nice name.
Well, thank you. It's my grandfather jizzed in his pants, and from then on, the Jizzpants.
I think another guy.
You think you know him?
Yeah. But thanks for having me.
Of course.
Teaching me all these things.
What did I teach you?
You have to fuck.
You do need to fuck.
Do have to fuck.
You do need to fuck a little bit. I'd say fuck at least one person every city. Be safe. Wear a condom. Make sure
I'm not available. I'm sorry.
Make sure they're nice people.
Yeah.
Don't get monkeypox.
Monkeypox?
Yeah. You ever heard about that? Hasn't made it over there?
I don't know. I've never been there.
You ever been to monkeypox? Hasn't made it to France? Listen, good talking to you, Zach Mama. Appreciate you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.